I don't know anything else other than say, let's see that we've gone through that before. Where
Right.
okay, we're going to bring up the young guys. They had Generation R when you were covering the team, and
Oh,
that
yeah,
didn't work
I remember
out.
that.
And, it was Todd Helton and the boys. What's your solution to this situation?
I agree. You need to trade Tulo. You need to trade Cargo. In Tulo's case, Mets are the best matchup. If you get Syndergaard for him, Travis d'Arnaud, so you get a young catcher. Any trade you make of Tulo has to involve
Why do you have to get a young catcher? You got Tom Murphy in the system.
I don't want to hear about Tom Murphy. I'm done with Tom Murphy. I want to hear about a guy that's already shown promise in the big leagues. Tom Murphy took a huge step backward last year and he got hurt. You need any deal you make for Tulo has to involve at least one position player. And here's why. You look back at the Ubaldo Jimenez trade, and I like the deal because Ubaldo wanted out. And everyone's like, he was a great pitcher. He was, but he wanted out or a huge extension. And he was trending the wrong way, and it's shown that in his last 4 or 5 years. But when you got Pomeranz, Alex White, and the position player was Matt McBride. That wasn't going to make, and the other pitcher guy was just a side-arming right-hander who never made it. But in Pomeranz and White, neither made it, although Pomeranz has had a great career down in Oakland, at least a promising one. But you can't base
White's
it just on pitchers.
off the map.
Yeah, he got hurt. Tommy John, he's off the face of the earth. But any deal, like when they were going to make the deal with the Cardinals, it was Matt Adams, Carlos Martinez, Shelby Miller. I mean, just variations of that deal. You have to have one position player because if the pitcher comes here and stinks and it becomes a grease fire, then there's Tulo is an all-star in the team you traded to him, and you've designated one of the guys you got for assignment, the other guy's in AAA, and then you have nothing to show for it. But a position player typically won't fail here. So look to have a combo trade. Cargo, you can't trade him right now. You got to let him hit. And he's showing signs. He walked a couple times last night. Obviously a big home run, but you can't trade him while he's hitting under 200 because there's no reason to. You're not going anywhere. Let him increase his value. He's a deadline deal. And you talked about Tulo. I respect what Tulo did. I think he handled it correctly. That, hey, my agent is my agent. He understood it. Maybe he kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but I'm not pressuring him. I need to be a leader. I need to play better. But it doesn't change anything. He's saying, well, wait till the team comes out. The team's probably going to come out and say, we're not actively looking to trade him. But it doesn't change the situation that they need to trade him. That's kind of the underlying thing. They both can say publicly, we don't want him to go, I don't want to go. But let's be honest, he needs to go. For his health, I hope for it, just like I did with Matt Holliday and other players who've left here. But he needs to go, Woody. It's not working. This is not working. The idea that you're going to have 4 or 5 good hitters and no pitching staff and contend in a division where the obvious strength is pitching. Every team in the division, even the Diamondbacks this year, are pitching well, and you do that worse than anybody in the league. How do you win? You can't. Then you have 11-game losing streaks because you can't beat them at home because they're pitching better than you, and you certainly can't beat them on the road where you never score runs. Yeah, they're in a tough spot here. And Tulo has always told me, he and Cargo both, and I've quoted them in stories, saying they don't want Todd Helton's career in that they have 2 playoff appearances in 17, 18 years. Tulo, certainly, that's not good for his mental stability.
And I bring up those 3 guys because that is fully 1/2 of your payroll tied up in 3 guys. 2 guys are getting $35 million. 3 guys are getting $47 million. Their payroll is $97 million.
Why didn't they trade Morneau in the offseason? If you honestly felt, which I thought was the best signing they've had was Nick Hundley. He's been maybe their best player, at least consistently. He's helped the pitching staff what there is of a pitching staff. But if you were committed at that point to using Rosario at first base, why not trade Morneau when he had value? Now you let him get older, and then he's, older players. What always happens with those older players? They get hurt.
Yeah. And
then you can't trade them. It just, like you said, you have Parker, you have other guys down in the minor leagues that trade Morneau. Bringing back Hawkins didn't make any sense to me. I love LaTroy. He's one of the most professional players I've ever dealt with in any sport. But why? He's a luxury item. And you sign Descalzo. That's what you sign if you're one player away and need a bench guy. You don't commit money to a bench player when you're hoping not to lose 100 games. That's just not allocating your resources efficiently for me. I mean, nothing against him, but I agree. They've got to get more pitching. And the only way they're going to do it, Woody, is I'm not even saying they're drafting the wrong guys. Something is going on in the development. There's a clear disconnect from the moment they get drafted that they can't get to the big leagues, or when they get to the big leagues, they're not any good. That's the part they got to figure out. is how to get guys from draft day to impact here, because that's killed them.
That's a great point. More of Troy was brought to you by Kunis Lexus of Greenwood Village, Colorado's #1 volume Lexus dealer, conveniently located at I-25 in Bellevue. View the current specials and a large selection of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Cooney Lexus, where Les Shapiro and Woody Paige do their buying of Lexuses.
Lexi.
Lexi.